Hey folks, it's man once again, and welcome back to another review. And this is for a film that I was actually pretty curious about: pro wrestlers versus zombies. And the reason I was curious about it is A, the title, and B, because it stars Roddy Piper. Now it's directed by a guy named Cody Knotts, and the movie was funded partly through a successful Kickstarter campaign and through private funds from three investors. They're pretty much a bunch of WWE stars portray themselves and they fight against zombies, hence the title. Written and directed by Cody Knotts. And he raised part of the funding through Kickstarter. It's got a couple positive reviews, although it has a 4.3 on IMDb. And to be honest, it deserves that, if not lower. I know there's quite a few critics on IMDb, like there's journal reviews and such, that enjoy the film. And I knew that the idea would be silly and it's not meant to be taken that seriously. It's pro wrestlers versus zombies. And to be honest, the only good thing about this movie is Roddy Piper, who stars in it. Roddy Piper, I'm a big fan of Roddy Piper. I think he's the best thing about this movie. And apart from him, really, this film had nothing else going for it, which I get into. But if people like the film, that's fine. And I know people are like, well, don't take it so seriously. Look at the title. Just have fun. But I think this is a really piss poorly done movie. It's a piss poor movie. It's a piss poor zombie movie. And I feel bad for Roddy Piper because he is the best thing about the movie. His scenes, which he's not in it for like 20 minutes, but then after that he's in it a lot. He becomes the main star and hero. And again, Roddy Piper is the best part of the movie, but there are much better Roddy Piper movies that are low budget films. Hell Comes to Frog Town. He did a film called Jungle Ground. A film with Billy Blanks called Tough and Deadly, which I reviewed some of those movies. I don't think Hell Comes to Frog Town, but I believe I reviewed Jungle Ground. I believe I reviewed Tough and Deadly. And also another film he did with Billy Blanks called Back in Action, but I like Tough and Deadly better. But Tough and Deadly I reviewed with Roddy Piper. That's a fun movie. I believe I reviewed Jungle Ground. I could be wrong. But if not, that's a fun movie. They Live, of course, is his best movie. That wasn't a big budget movie. In Mortal Kombat, I haven't reviewed that, but that's a film he did with Sonny Chiba, that's a better movie than this. I've also seen low budget zombie movies that are better than this. The Dead Next Door, Dead and Deader with Dean Cain. It's just okay. Other people who are in this, you have Shane the Franchise Douglas, you have Kurt Angle in a little cameo role, you have Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you have Matt Hardy, Taya Parker, Rebby Sky, Cody Knotts plays a role himself. He's the writer director. And again, I know this is a low budget, micro budget film that they raised to partly fund it, $30,000 on Kickstarter. But I think it's a horribly directed movie. I mean, the first 20 minutes you spend in it with Shane Douglas. I mean, this guy was messing around with this woman, and he gets pissed, and he has a match with the guy. And it's funny because it's looks like a gym at a high school. I'm sure maybe that's what it's supposed to be, but I love that the crowd, how do I put it? The crowd noise is piped in so loud that it sounds like it's fucking WrestleMania. But as the camera goes around, most of the bleachers are empty. Like most of the bleachers are empty. You see maybe a speck of people at the front row, but like most of the bleachers are fucking empty in this damn place. But yet it sounds like they're at fucking Madison Square Garden. And Shane Douglas does this pile driver on this guy, and the guy dies of his injuries. And the plot is that the brother of that guy is pissed off, and he makes a deal with the demon, the devil, however you want to call him, kidnaps this random woman, and kills her, takes her heart out. And it's funny when he takes her heart out, the stuff around it. Think of applesauce if it was dyed red. If applesauce was dyed red, that's the stuff around her heart, and he takes it and he eats it. I'm like, if I want to watch that, I'll watch Jason Goes to Hell. Thank you very much. And the demon, who's a bald-headed guy, says, "You got the power." And I'll just watch fucking Jesse Piedmon's The Perfect Weapon if I want to see, a movie as well as the song "I've Got the Power." And the movie looks cheap. It looks very cheap. It looks like it was filmed on my webcam, but if it was had a color filter on it, I mean, it looks. Although to be honest, I think my webcam is a little bit better film quality than this. And again, I know it's a micro budget, it's meant to be a comedy, and I love a lot of movies that are silly ideas, and also low budget films. Low budget zombie films. Hell, Dawn of the Dead with George Romero was a low budget zombie movie. Return of the Living Dead, Dead and Dare with Dean Cain, The Dead Next Door. Reanimator was not a $20-30 million budget. But, I mean, this Shane Douglas guy, I know he was in ECW. He was in ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE. Didn't really care for him, and I definitely don't care for him as an actor. He sucks as an actor. He's terrible. He's phony. When he tries to hit a wall, it's like, and I'm like, come on, I know you're a wrestler, so I'm sure you're tough, but you're like barely hitting the wall, as if he's afraid if he hits the wall, he'll hurt himself or hurt the wall or break through it. And it's like we're supposed to care about him, but then he's a fucking dick because he gets people killed. Like, he closes the door, won't open it, so to save his own skin. But at the same time, you're supposed to feel sorry for him. I'm sure someone will point out, well, it's like a heel turn. Well, you know what? I think that's looking too far into it. For me personally, that's giving the movie too much credit. And even then, it doesn't work well. Because you still don't like the guy. You don't like the guy before. You don't like the guy after. He gets the guy killed. He doesn't really feel too bad about it. When, that pile driver, and he admits that he did it on purpose. So he murdered a guy in the first couple minutes on purpose. And again, there's no reason to care about this guy because he does other shitty things. But then he spends time with his family as if we're supposed to care about him, but we don't. So it's fucking pointless, and he's a terrible actor. Again, the best thing about this is Roddy Piper. He comes in at like 20 minutes in. So the first 20 minutes is fucking useless. Just to give a bit setup. And the setup is, like I said, this guy wants revenge, and he's able to get the powers from the demon because he wants revenge for his brother's death. And so he tells this guy, who is the director, by the way, the real director, tells Cody Knotts, I want these two people at least, Shane Douglas and this other woman. Give me them. I don't care who else. And the guy goes, whoa, for this amount of money, I will give you Roddy Piper and Matt Hardy and Kurt Angle and a few other people. And he's like, okay, take them to this bus, and they'll take us to this take you guys to this prison where it's going to be a private show. And another bad thing about this movie is the dubbing is fucking terrible. I don't mean like they dub it with other, like Roddy Piper, it's his voice, it's other people's voices, but you can so tell it's dubbed. Like, sometimes the lips don't match, or you can tell that it's not really them saying it in the scene. Like the bass or the tone of the voice is very, I don't know if you want to say deeper or lower or off. You just tell that everything is overdubbed to the point, and I'm sure someone will say, well, that's part of the comedy, or that's part of the humor, but it's not funny if that's the case. So either they did a shitty job with it, or it was meant as a joke and they did a shitty job of that because it just makes your movie look bad. I'm going for the first. They just did a shitty job of it. Now, whoever put their money in the Kickstarter for this, I love to hear their opinions. If they're fine with the product, then hey, they did their job. If they're not, they probably won't get their money back. But I knew what I was going in the fact that it would be a low-budget film and not to take it too seriously. But hell, I Am a Major with Mark Dacascos is a better zombie movie than this, and that's from the fucking Asylum. And that's a tiny budget movie. At least Mark Dacascos is beating the shit out of zombies with nunchucks, and I Am a Major. And even that film looked, I hate to say it, it looked more expensive than this movie, and that was a cheap sumbitch of a movie. And that didn't have horrible, shitty dubbing. But I like Roddy Piper. I like him as an actor. He's been in a lot of films I enjoy, and I like him as a wrestler as well. And I think he has some good scenes. He has a good scene where there's this new woman who I forget who her name is, but she seems like a decent lady. Horrible overdubbing, like everyone, but Shane Douglas's girlfriend treats her like shit. I like that Roddy Piper looks at the Shane Douglas's girlfriend and is like, "What the fuck is your problem, huh? What the fuck is your problem?" Spits on her and gives her the finger for being a bitch. So I like Roddy Piper in that. There's a couple scenes of Roddy Piper I'll get to. Yeah, I thought he did a good job acting, and he's the best actor of the movie, and it shows that he's had experience in acting, folks. And I've always liked him as an actor. I think he always had a natural presence. Even low-budget films, like there's one called Last to Surrender, which I like, and Jungle Ground, and Tough and Deadly. Like, Roddy Piper, if somehow he sees this, I'm a big fan of you, man. And I wish that someone would give you better movies. Like, even if it's the same idea as this. But a bigger budget or a better director or more something. Not to have really shitty dubbing, really cheap Jap production values that look like, it doesn't even look like, okay, the 30,000 was partly funded, it doesn't even look like it cost that much. It looked like you had $800 and a case of beer. I mean, you have an empty place for the prison, you have a couple dozen extras for zombies. The bits of gore, the best bits of gore you see in the trailer. And immediately when they get there, like Kurt Angle, he's in there for his cameo. He's not in the film for more than 2-3 minutes. Like, as he walks in, boom, the zombies are there. Kurt Angle beats a couple up. And then he gets hit by our main bad guy with his cane. And then one of the zombies, like, choke slams him, and they all hover over him. A lot of times when they hover over people, you don't see them eating. They just hover over people and you hear noises. And then pretty much the zombies converge on this arena, and hats out Jim Duggan, Shane Douglas, and Roddy Piper in the ring. And what's funny is they're in the ring, and really none of the zombies for some reason can climb into the ring. Which I'm like, why not? Why not have all the zombies climb in and that it be a Royal Rumble with zombies? A bunch of zombies come in and the three of them are throwing them off the top rope and clotheslining them over the rope and, throwing them, body slamming them, pick them up and throw them through the rope or over the rope. But no. Only one guy, and it's the zombie Kurt Angle. And even then, it's like Roddy Piper beats him up a little bit, and then Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Roddy Piper beat him up a little bit. And they're hitting him like here. And then it cuts to the zombies that for some reason can't climb up to the ring. And then it cuts back to our three guys, Shane, Roddy, and Hacksaw. But Kurt Angle is gone. He's disappeared for the entire movie. You don't even see Kurt Angle's character get killed, like a neck snap, Roddy Piper having something and jamming into his head or cutting a head off or anything. No, just they're like hitting him, I swear, like on the back or neck. cuts away, then cuts back. He's disappeared. His body disappeared. His body's not in the ring. His body's not outside. He disappeared into thin air. That's what I'm talking about with the shitty directing. That doesn't cost money, Cody Knotts. Go back to Knott's Berry Farm instead of directing and taking people's money. I know I would be a shitty director. That's why I wouldn't take someone's money to make a movie unless I know what the fuck I'm doing. But if people who pay for it liked it, okay. It's a fun idea, but I think this director fucked it up. Like, you drive at Roddy Piper, and then boom, 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 and then Shane Douglas, again, I don't care for him. He doesn't really do much fighting, and he's a shitty actor, so I'm like, why the fuck is he even in this movie? Is Shane Douglas really a big name anymore? And again, he doesn't do much fighting, and he's just the asshole that we don't like. Maybe that's the point. We need an asshole that we don't like, even though sometimes the movie seems like it wants to make us like him, which is, it fails on that level. And then what's funny is they get out of the ring, and pretty much the zombies don't make much of an effort on them. The three of them get to this other group of people, including one who looks like he's one of the, I forget who the guy's name is, but he looks like he's in his skivvies, and he has his shirt off, and looks like he's ready for a swimming, like Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. And pretty much they have a huddle, and they go through the zombies, and like the zombies don't make much of an effort to get to them, so they get by them very quickly and easily. And what's funny is none of them are covered with a spot of blood. They go through the doors. The next time we see them, every one of them is covered with blood, face, shirt, and I'm like, they went through the door, there was not a spot of blood on them. Now they're all covered in blood. Did they have some action that was cut out? Or did they have some action that would have been cool to see, which is the point of the movie, but you decided, or you did a fuck up? I want to go with you did a fuck up. I mean, that doesn't take budget. Hey, here's a scene where there's no blood. Now here's a scene where they have blood. Maybe we should have a scene between that shows how they got blood all over them. It's not a nitpick. It's obvious that a fucking blind man can see it. I'm sorry. Low budget. This is not some fan film that you made for fun for $80 and put on YouTube. This is a film that you're releasing for people to pay $15, $20 for. And that, if I had put my money into this as one of the Kickstarter, I would have been kind of mad. Even more mad than I am now. Because I think it's a fun idea, but the director fucked it up. And the guy wrote it as well. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Matt Hardy, pretty much all his stuff is like on the bus. He's kissing his girlfriend, and it sounds like a bad porn movie. Like literally, the dubbing of their moans as he's kissing his girlfriend. Think of a bad porn dub. Like maybe, I don't know, I guess if you watch a foreign porn, you have a horrible dub on it. That's what it sounds like. Because they're just trying to have fun with this woman when they get to the arena. And then Matt Hardy, pretty much, he runs away for a bit. He's fighting these zombies. He kills one. Before that, he just, takes a baking tray and hits a zombie. Takes a little chair, hits one in the head. Goes upstairs. Here's the thing he carries. Puts it over, jumps into them. Climbs onto the bars like it's a cage match. Takes some chains, goes down, kills one zombie, runs away. And then, like you see in the trailer, like I said, the best gore parts are in the trailer, so you just watch the trailer. The guy who is trying to get around the corner and is split in half, that's Matt Hardy. And what's funny is that most of Matt Hardy, it's like his body here, but think of this part as the pillar, and they're doing that so that they don't show the special effect that they don't have on Matt Hardy. Because when it's torn, you don't see Matt Hardy's face. And then they just hide his body behind like a pillar, so it's... Again, maybe that's supposed to be the joke, but I guess I just didn't have a sense of humor. I didn't say the movie had to take itself 100% seriously, but if it had jokes, it wasn't that funny. Unless it was Roddy Piper. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he gets left behind by Shane Douglas because Shane Douglas closes the door on his ass. And even Hacksaw Jim Duggan doesn't kill any zombies. I remember one of the taglines on the Kickstarter was like, see wrestlers, tear through zombies or massacre zombies. I'm like, Hacksaw Jim Duggan didn't do much. He's pretty much swinging his 2x4 and then they grab him. And then his hand hits this glass with blood on it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan has a 2x4. He didn't really kill any zombies with it. He hit Kurt Angle, but I guess he killed him because he disappeared into thin air. But Roddy Piper, like I said, is the only thing worth a shit. Like, for example, he walks in and there's his friend, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, as a zombie. And without words, Roddy Piper shows his emotion. Not crying or anything, but he shows his sadness, shows that he feels bad. He kills Hacksaw. They're great. You don't see Hacksaw die, but it's on Roddy's face, and he swings, and you hear the sound. But Roddy Piper did a good little acting job there. It shows his regret, shows it all without any words. And to me, that shows that Roddy Piper is definitely the best actor. In fact, he's my favorite wrestler turned actor. I like The Rock, but he's my favorite wrestler turned actor. They Live, Jungle Ground, Tough and Deadly, Hell Comes to Fraud Town, Last to Surrender. I said Jungle Ground, but he's a good one. And right there, it shows that, hey, this guy's had experience acting. He has a good presence to him, and I thought he did a good job with it. And again, even the action bits, he's the only one worth a shit. Like, he's like, hey, let me take care of these guys. And he's hitting one with a pot. Like a little pan, and he like throws something at one, even finds a coconut and slams into one guy. He slams one and the head explodes against the wall. This one zombie bites his hand like, how do you like it? And hits him and locks him in the freezer. And he has a couple of fun lines of dialogue throughout the film. Like much later on in the film's like, this is fucking ridiculous. But Roddy Piper is the shining spot in this movie's asshole. This movie stinks like an asshole, but Roddy Piper is the shining spot of it. He really is. It's such a cheap jet horse shit of a movie. Fun idea that if you had a better director or maybe some more money, at least make the film look halfway fucking decent. Get some fucking decent dubbing. Why the fuck do you need dubbing in the first place? Why don't you just... What? Was there a fucking airport that had airplanes swinging every 5 seconds? They couldn't use any dialogue on location? Did you do it on purpose as a funny? Or did you just fuck up? It's just very aggravating and annoying? Shit, what else is it? The other characters. Oh yeah, the woman that sort of becomes Roddy Piper's girl. Somehow she knows shit in the fact that her, again, I don't know if it's her voice or just a bad dub, but she came off as bad. She like knows, she already has a machete when shit's going down, and shows him like all these weapons in this one locker. I'm like, how the hell did she know about that? And when Matt Hardy's girlfriend gets bitten, I should say, and then this girl's supposed to kill her with this machete, and like goes to her face and then cuts away. Then show anything, just goes to her face and cuts away. Same with, I think when half of Matt Hardy's body's there, Hacksaw Jim Duggan slams down. It's about ready to hit Matt Hardy's head. It cuts away and you see a splurt of blood. Like I said, the best gore, like there's this one guy, the guy who said it should be in the swimsuit issue, Sports Illustrated, he takes a guy and tears him apart. But again, you see that in the trailer. Again, the best gore bits Or in the trailer. They gave away in the trailer. Because you don't get really much big gore bits other than what's in the trailer, to be honest. Like, you don't have tons of heads being cut off, arms being cut off. No gunplay. No guns anywhere. And sometimes a zombie gets, like, sliced in the neck or face, and then they're dead. Maybe that's how you could kill these zombies, just slicing their neck or on their face or something. A lot of times, like, the girl's swinging this machete and you don't really see it connect. Like, the camera's blocked in a way so you don't have to show, I guess, much makeup. But again, I looked at low-budget films back in the day and whether you get away with gore, I'm like, what the hell's the deal here, man? Even fucking films that went to Sci-Fi Channel or Asylum, like I Am Omega and Dead and Deader. Better movies than this. More entertaining movies. Better made movies, it's sad to say. I actually like those two movies. Battle of the Damned with fucking Dolph Lundgren. Much better. That has problems. Hell, I like the movie though. Much better movie than this. Fuck. But, God, what the hell was I going to say? I forget how, like, this is Weasley guy, and he gets killed, and when they do hover him, they actually show the zombies ripping a little bit of guts out there. Fuck, I forget what else. They kind of piss around, and then Shane Douglas, Roddy Piper, and the girl are the last three left, and they escape out to the outside. And then you get a bunch of more fighting of zombies, which, okay, that's cool. Roddy Piper fighting more zombies, and then this girl. And Shane Douglas doesn't really do a lot of fighting. He's just running. So again, like you couldn't get anyone else? Hell, get $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. He probably didn't want to do it. Hell, I read somewhere on Kickstarter that Terry Fond. Yeah, get Terry Fond. Maybe he can do more shit than this guy. Shane Douglas, he was fucking horrible acting. His dubbing was horrible, and he didn't even fight. So, like, but it's like, what the fuck was he doing in the movie? But yeah, I mean, Roddy Piper fighting, and for some reason, when the girl kills this one female zombie, Roddy Piper either sees and knows that, wait, you're hurting him, being the demon. Now kill the other bitch. I'm like, why does it matter if these two women are killed? And how the hell did Roddy Piper know that? Does he have the Force with him? And then, I know it's a stupid idea, it's meant for fun, but why even throw it in there in the first place, is what I'm saying. For fuck's sake. Hell, why have the demon just be some bald guy? If you don't be crazy, have it be a fucking creature. Have it be a makeup effect. Have it be a fucking man in a suit. I don't know. If you're gonna be silly and fun. And then, like, also when the girl gets her bit on the neck, Roddy Piper gets to the main bad guy. Shane Douglas, he dies because a bunch of zombies gather around him and the bad guy chokes the shit out of him with a chain. That's pretty much how it. Pretty lame death for such an asshole character. Maybe get his head cut off or head bitten off. Like a bunch of bites on his face, or head cut off, or gutted or torn apart, or kind of like Rose in Day of the Dead, choke on them. But no, none of that. Just the fucking bad guy just chokes him with a chain. But yeah, Roddy Piper's worth of shit. Just a nice little bit of dialogue saying, you're just an American. I forget, you're just a bully, and I don't like bullies, and I take them out. I forgot the line of dialogue, but I thought Roddy Piper actually delivered it pretty well. If it wasn't for the shitty overdub that they made him do. I'm sure they made him do it, because I'm sure for some reason they couldn't use the dialogue he used on set. For anybody. Shitty job by the director, I'm sorry. I've seen fucking fan films. Hell, the Casey Jones movie fan film on YouTube. Better made movie than this, and that's a fan film. For fuck's sake. I'm sure much cheaper than this movie. Can't give me low budget for his excuse. You watch the Casey Jones fan film, then watch this movie. You tell me which is a better made movie. That looks better than this, sadly enough. Yeah, it makes me fucking pissed off that the Raphael fan film couldn't get fucking kickstarted or whatever, but this fucking film did. And hell, I would have been for it. I don't blame anyone who supported it. Just cool. Roddy Piper in a zombie movie called Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies? Sign me up. That's why I watched the fucking flick. But even when he kills the bad guys, the director did his shitty job with it. Like, Roddy Piper's giving his all, hitting him with his cane, and then it cuts to the guy on the floor going, and then Roddy Piper going, yeah, 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 and then it cuts to the guy going, I shit you not. Like, you don't even see, like, when he cuts to this, you don't see, like, the cane coming down and hitting him. No, it just, Roddy Piper's doing this, and then with no cane, nothing hitting him, just the guy going, I'm like, is he having trouble sleeping, or is he supposed to be getting hit by Roddy Piper? What the fuck? Like, seriously, you couldn't just have him, someone going, ah, like, hell, I'll do it. Ah, ah. Shit, I'm spilling over my fucking water. Okay. Ah, ah, ah. Or like someone with a cane, like, ah, ah, oh, ooh, ah. Fuck's sake. It's not about fucking budget, man. And then sometimes you have some really shitty, I don't know what the fucking heavy metal songs or whatever the fuck they put in between. I guess killing that guy, he has no power with the zombies, so I guess the rest are... I guess they killed the rest of the zombies. What's funny is the girl got bit on the neck, and then after he kills that guy, the girl gets up and she's fine. I'm guessing she doesn't turn into a zombie because Roddy Piper killed that guy, which again was a pretty lame fashion. He just hit the guy with a cane that you didn't see in the guy's reaction. He just, how about, cutting his head off, or getting a fucking knife and shoving it on his throat, or slitting his neck, or knife to the head, or anything. Just lame shit. Lame kill for the bad guy. Just like a lame kill for Shane Douglas. What the fuck? And then even then, the girl still got bit on the neck. But no, she's smiling and she's acting like nothing's wrong. And Roddy Piper puts her coat over her and they hug and they're by an American flag. Just trying to be very patriotic, and then that's the end. I'm like, the girl got bit on the neck. I mean, isn't that at least due for see a doctor? Again, I know people are going to be like, you're taking this too seriously. But you can have fun, but this is just... It doesn't even seem like it's doing it for fun. It's meant to... It's shitty directing and shitty writing by a shitty director. I wish someone like John Carpenter could have done this. Although, I mean, it'd be a silly idea. But hell, John Carpenter is a fan of wrestling. That's why he got Roddy Piper and They Live. John Carpenter, he's never done a zombie movie. Let him have fun, work with Roddy Piper again, and direct this movie. Why not? Why not do that, man? Fuck. Anyway, Roddy Piper, he has a... It's worth the watch for Roddy Piper, if you can find it to watch. And then Roddy Piper is the only fucking shining light in this pile of shit. The gore, you saw most of the big gore shots in the trailer. You can check out the trailer on YouTube. The production is piss poor, cheap jack. Just really cheap looking. Matt Hardy doesn't have much to do except have a dove him dub his own voice where it sounds like he's in a porn movie, and then do a couple things, kill one zombie, and then get torn in half. Kurt Angle is there for a glorified cameo. They just turn to a zombie. He's fighting Roddy Piper and Hacksaw, and then he disappears. He just disappears. Literally into thin air. Shane Douglas, horrible actor. Didn't care much for him as a wrestler, but he's a horrible actor. Horrible, horrible, horrible actor. The overdubbing of the audio is terrible. I don't know how you could look at this and be like, oh, that's fine. If it's meant as a joke, it's not fucking funny. It just makes your film look bad. It got pretty dull and boring at times. It really did. The location of the prison. Hell, prison in the 80s. That's a low budget film. That's how you shoot a prison, right? You want to see a low budget horror film in a prison? Watch Prison. Yes, you can have a stupid, silly idea. But when you do it in a shitty way, it's a shitty way. Yes, the concept could be fun. Roddy Piper is the shining light. But you have shitty acting, you have shitty script, and I know someone's going to say, come on, you're really going into this for acting and script. But even the action isn't fun. You don't have Kurt Angle when he's beating someone up like you see in the trailer. Again, the only decent gore bits, I said this for the third, fourth, fifth time, it's in the trailer. Oh, he's doing this move and he ripped an ankle off. The best bits you see in the trailer. And the other good bits is from Roddy Piper. No one else. Some say if you're a big wrestling fan, you'll enjoy it. Who knows? I thought this was a fucking... It's just a 4.3 on IMDb for a reason. And to be honest, it should be lower. And I feel bad for Roddy Piper. Hell, someone should remake this movie and take all the Roddy Piper scenes, put it into it, and I don't know, get better people, better director. I wish Roddy Piper was in a better movie. Like Roddy Piper is here, and the movie is here. But Roddy Piper is so above this movie. He really is. He's the one worth the shit. Even hampered with the shitty overdubbing that everyone has, Roddy Piper is still the badass in this movie. It was worth a watch for Roddy Piper, but the rest of the movie is pure dog shit. Roddy Piper is the man. So again, Roddy Piper's the man, the movie's dog shit. That's my review in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.